Sean here. I'm just going to give my weekly recap on the first week of August. So we had a slower week. It started out on the fourth Monday. I missed the trade on, yeah, I missed the trade on Monday. The second trade we had was Sint. Sint was taken on the fourth. So the fourth was Tuesday. Monday I missed out on a ticker. I forget what ticker it was. Totally missed out. But Sint was on my radar on Tuesday morning, and we nailed it nicely. I'm gonna give you the rundown here. It had potential for an all-day fade, but by the 11, 12 o'clock, we were starting to pull in, this trend, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So we were looking for this as a gap in extension because this is really not my setup, guys, where I'm looking for like a high, maybe a higher high with less volume, what I was always pointing out here. So we had like a volume divergence. And we wanted this to fail to the J lines, underneath the J lines before the open, and come down and either touch the 5-minute, the 200 moving average here in the 1 or the 3-minute J lines, and then when it pop and fail. But this thing had another setup, which I've been we've been tracking now. I have a couple of tickers lined up. I'm tracking these gap extensions. So the gap extensions, what we're really looking for is anything that's breaking over pre-market highs, okay? So anything that's gonna break out pre-market highs, it's gonna interest me. And if you notice here, I put a fib, which I've been doing now. Just give you a little rundown how I calculate it. So I know it's like trial and error. So if this thing's popping up, I'm going to go to the first high here, and I want to see that minus 27. Okay, normally this is like the buyers from here, okay, or buyers from here, or buyers from here. They're going to want to take profit on this level here, meaning we're talking about algorithm here. We're not talking maybe about you and me or small real traders here. So. As you notice here at the minus 27, it did like really pop over. So I'm going to give it a bit more room here to see where it potentially wants to go. So I'll just go to the second high here. Okay, boom. And this minus 27 is also here again. So this is like something that I've been finding kind of curious on these levels here. Only on gap extensions plays. Okay, and if we really want to get like crafty on it, this would have been the ultimate high where the algorithm is going to want to start taking profits here for the reversal. Okay, so what I did here is it pulled in a high, it really stuffed, and I just waited. I was looking at volume on 1.5 here on this section here, and then when it popped up here, we had like less volume. Still a shit ton. We're almost a million here on this candle here, but we had 1.6 here, and then we had 1.8 selling here. So we noticed that there was definitely sellers up here. I took a feeler here, and it popped, and I slammed it again with more. And then my first profit taking is here, and it didn't quite go to the 200 here. So as soon as it bottomed out here, I'm like, okay. And you notice this is the golden zone for the buyers, okay? I'm just saying. So I'm looking at like these are buyers, then back over the J lines, and it's just like in out, in out, in out, and we're 10:30 here, guys. Okay, we're 10:30. So what is my rule? 10:30, I want to be normally underneath, or we reclaim it, but I want to see this like try stuff and crack the J lines, come and test the 200 at least, okay, and then like roll over and go back for that all-day fader. But then, no, this thing had something else going on here. So it was just like cruising on the J lines. I was just babysitting this. And then I did this nice 3M here, saying this is a nice setup. Maybe this is like, people getting in short here or short here underneath VWAP, the newbies. Pull these stops out, bring it to VWAP. Look at this VWAP on low volume and then crack. And I think some guys were getting in short here, recycling here at this 120, 170, 270 level. And as soon as I start to make higher highs here, and I saw volume coming in, It was 2 o'clock here, 2:40. I cut it. Boom. I trimmed it. I could have been more, when I started seeing this like lower high, higher, sorry, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, and reclaiming chain lines and bounce J lines, and I should have been scaling out here. Okay, but I gave back literally like, what, 10, 15 cents. Okay, so that was a trade on Sint. Then we had Biok. Biok was not on the J's list. Traded it because we traded it in the past. Oh, get rid of this bottom bar here. Traded this in the past. I was very patient. That's what I want to say. I was patient on this, and then I didn't chase. It was. Let me just pull this back here. So this is gap extension, and I just want to do an exercise here. I'm just going to get rid of this here, remove, and pull the fib from the, where is this push coming from? So I'll come to the bottom here. So normally we go here, so we have minus 27, I go there, minus 27, I can bring it here. Oh, but look at this. Look at this nice topping action. So I'm going to be using this more often, looking into scale into this, and look at this beautiful D pattern. I got in here. The theory of here was like, I saw this stuff, and I was just going with price action. Okay, we saw a high here. We saw the same high with less volume. Identified that here, and I took a feeler, and I added, and I was looking for the J lines in a 200. So then it came down. I was like, okay, well maybe I did catch the right, but it did like bottom, and it found support here, which is normally like some traders love to see. This is like that, that pre-market high, to use that as support, and push it. Then I put my trend line here. And when I took a cut here, I was very, very humble. I says, look, I'm getting in here. I got in here. I was literally risking one. I remember I put 2 cents. It was 122, and I put my stop out at 123 to cover everything. I had coverage here at the J lines, and I had cover here on the 200, the 3-minute J lines. And if we had an all-day fade, I was looking for this 5-minute. But I got stopped out, and at this point here, I'm like, you know what? This is just uptrending. And I was talking to Nico, and Nico was pointing this out to me. And by this point, at this stage of the trade, I was, I didn't want to fight it. Okay, I was down some, and it was just pulling. But I could have like really been a bit more patient with it, and that's something that I've mentioned in the past videos. That I got to be a bit more patient. Just draw your trend. But I only took one ball here, one hit, one strike, one bullet. So I nailed it, and it didn't work. Cut it. So, and I didn't want to like re-nail it here and cut it. Re-nail, and I don't want to get this like into a situation like I got into NTZ, was it, a couple of weeks ago, and just fight this ticker, this dollar ticker taking away like these gains that I should be potentially making. Anyways, this is a beautiful, if you take a look, this is like a bull pennant. If you want, higher, low, and then it's just holding. But this was beautiful. This was really nice. Trend, crack. Could have got into this pop here at the 9 EMA, and then just scale out, retest the J lines, and then I think this went to the target. If I would have been looking for the 200 moving average, no, it didn't even go to the 200 moving average. So, but again, look at this minus 27. I just pulled the fib from here and just pick the tops and look for that minus 27. Pick the top 27. Pick the top. Look at this beautiful rejection. So I could have been starting short here, okay? Because I know that, and if it would have curled, just get out. Take a small L on it like I did here. Anyways, that was Biok. That could have been a potentially nice trade. Then we had ZSAN. It was a slow week. I didn't have much. And I was looking at this at Nico, and Nico nailed this J line here, this 278 or 279. He nailed this. And for once, I felt FOMO. Okay, I'm like, oh, look at this, it's going down. I say, okay, if this thing finds a support and pops and finds the 9 EMA, and it came down, I got a shitty feel because I remember hitting hotkeys like here, like a 169, 168, and I got like a half partial fill here, and I got a partial fill here. And then when this thing like bottomed, I was like, oh, this is like running out of steam, no volume. And what are you doing, Sean? And I was saying, you know what, it's just putting in these chiclets, which I hate. So then it just washed out. And I had to put a cover here. Well, I had a cover here for the 200, which it did go, by the way. But I put a cover here at like 160, and it just came down, boom, got my order and took out. So there's really nothing to talk about this trade, unless I was, well, if you really want to get technical here, went to the VWAP and the 3-minute J lines, boom, stuff failed, and it just like, let's just say if I would have got in here 164, I would have probably scaled out here because it's pre-market lows. So 164, so we're talking what, 12 cents, and then it did go to bottom out here and held support 144, and this just grinded back up. So really just no volume. So basically, and we did have this super trade, not super, OPDN was it? Ticker was it? OPGN. This thing was a ripper, I mean, this was, it did not respect anything. I didn't trade it. I know Jay was in it, and I know Ash was in it too. But technically, it was, even though if I would have been getting in, okay, let's just go in hindsight. Let's just dissect this stock, okay? Let's just dissect it and see, where would I got in, where, oh, come on, John. Okay, so basically, like after 11:30, I would have never taken this, but let's just go in hindsight here. Just want to do the exercise on this. So basically, we had a sorry about that. We had a super gapper, and then look at gave all backs at gain, gave it almost all back, came to the J lines and just like held the J lines and ripped. Okay, so let's just say if I would have took this trend break, okay, I'm just going hindsight here, guys. Let's just say if I would have took this break, get in short, and I think Jay was getting in short here, cover on the J lines, and put your stop break even. Okay, cool. That would have been a nice trade. I would have got stopped out. Let's pull another trend here. Sorry, I'll put a narrow instead of another trend here. Boom. Let's just say you caught the trend here. Stuff down. Look at this. Stop me out. So another stop out. Another stop out here. I see another one here. Boom. Let's just say you got in short here. Where would I take profits? I would have been aiming for the J lines. Break even, stop out. And this is potentially the only really super sexy setup here. And I see it right away. D pattern that I love to see. But at this point of the day, I would have never been taking it anyways. So D pattern short, boom, boom to the J line, J line, J line's crack. So this thing was just spelling disaster. And look at the fucking volume. Sorry. Look at the volume on this. I mean, this was literally crazy. And I was looking at this here. I was tempted to take this setup here. Jay was calling it the 3-wave here. So up, down, up, down, up. Whoop, sorry about that. So you didn't get this man. Up, down, and you could have gone in field here short. It didn't even go to the J lines. Just like we thought this was going down, 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 and then whoops, grind back up. And I would have got stopped out. The only real setup I really saw this was the end, was this here. Yeah, this was the setup. And I was looking at it in this block here. So the J-line crack, VWAP test, 3-minute J-line retest here. So let's just go ahead and short here, 341. I would have been looking for this moving average here. It never came, And then we just regained, so I would have got stopped out because I would have probably put my break even here. So this thing was spelling for disaster. So I was really not happy that I didn't take it, but this is like the black sheep you have to really, really, really like look out for. Something comes out of nowhere, just pops, hugs the giant. This would have been an awesome like long from 260. They just hold this. But anyways, that was my week, guys. Next week, month of August, I'm praising it and I'm saying it over and over and over. It's a month of August, so there's less plays, less volatility, less my setups, okay, the stuff that I love seeing, the gapping crap, and I will be diving into my Fibonacci retracement levels tomorrow, so I'll be doing a video soon on that. So for that just like the overextended over pre-market high, and then nailing that minus 27. So that's about it. It was an okay week. I'm up on the week. I'm not down. Small size, but like I'm still using small size. So and I will still be using small size for the rest of the month until we start seeing like uh, like many plays during pre-market, and that's about it. So this week was a good week, really good week. I mean, two greens, one red. I mean, what do you want? It is what it is. So peace out, everyone. Have a good day. See you next weekend.